part of our shit cum package.
It's part of our shit cum initiative.
It's
It's part of our shit and cum initiative. It's where we're trying to all just shit more cum.
I don't know. We pride
We're all
ourselves
just
on.
trying to,
We're forward thinking. I don't know. We
you know, we're the office with the most shits per square cum out there.
and comes per square shit. A lot of people don't think about that.
Comes
They think
per
about the
square
other
shit.
one. They don't think about the opposite.
They don't, you know, they don't do the math.
It's
really.
two sides of the same
They just
coin.
don't. Two sides of the gay guys.
Two sides of the same loin.
Sure. Two sides of the same loin. Pork loin.
Pork loin sandwich.
I grill.
I was thinking of loin
I've
cloth.
been known to. Oh.
Yeah, like
Penis.
Tarzan.
I get it.
His penis
like,
cloth.
Yeah, like it's like a ball. It's like a balls. All right, let's record. God
Yeah.
damn.
You want to clap?
I have the clap.
I have the blap. It's
Do
similar.
they call it that?
What?
Do they call it that anymore, or is it? Or do they have like a Gen Z name for it now?
No, I saw a relatively young comedian making fun of Swedish people, I believe. And he used the term.
Don't know how these are related, but
he was in Sweden.
Okay, it's still not enough context, but I'm listening.
I forget the whole joke, but they were clapping, and then he somehow tied that into they have the clap.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right.
Swedish people are
great. Awesome.
He said their entire
awesome.
Their entire nation is autistic. So.
Okay. He did his research, folks. This stand-up comedian, he's a genius. This is why we look to comedians for our, art imitating life.
Right. Yeah,
this is why Pete Davidson is a modern day philosopher.
Right. He's a leader. He's a world leader. Because
he's of the class of people that goes around to different countries and telling them they smell and have diseases.
He was a similar breed to Pete Davidson. He's I've seen him.
I believe it.
He's been pushed a lot on like YouTube shorts and stuff. He's like that white dude that's like kind of chatty looking.
They always are.
Yeah, and yeah. One of his jokes about
I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about, but I do.
He got there's a video of him like saying the N-word in a song, in the context of a song, and about how white people were really mad about that, but black people were like, oh, I didn't know he fucks with whatever rapper it was. So he's good.
So he's chill, dude. He's good.
Cool guy.
The black guys in the TikTok comments, they love him. All right. He's chill.
He's got the card.
Chill, I promise. Yeah, It's like they said it. Those are definitely real people that said that too. Those definitely aren't just people online that are just like also white.
Yeah, naturally occurring instances that occurred. Yeah.
No, absolutely. This is good stuff. Yeah, actually there's a video of him saying that an entire group of people from the South Andes should die. But I mean, he was just joking, he was saying that everyone who lives in a mountainous region of Asia should freeze to death, but it was a joke. It was
he didn't mean it for cereal.
It was just crowd work, guys. He was talking to a Filipino guy.
People are so sensitive these days.
People are so sensitive. It's like you can't even tell them that I want to commit genocide against them anymore. It's like, dude, what's the fucking deal?
You know who I've been committing genocide against?
A fucking sleeve of Oreos.
No, the forces of chaos, because I've been playing this game 40K bolt gun, and it kind of got me down the rabbit hole. Oh,
there are so many syllables that just happened that I'm lost on. What are you saying?
I've been playing this new retro FPS boomer shooter 40K bolt gun, and
shooty,
a boomer shooty, which is essentially like a Doom style. Retro shooter,
a boomy shooty.
Yeah, doomy shooty. There's a whole
boomy shooty,
and there's a whole revival wave of doomy booty shooties.
Doomy boomy shooty duties.
Yeah, and
so you're doing your doomy boomy shooty duties.
I was doing my due diligence to do my doomy boomy shooty duties, and I'm about halfway through 40K bolt gun. It's only $20 and
43 bolt gun. Hold on,
40K.
40K
Like
bolt
Warhammer.
gun.
Warhammer.
Oh,
Screwed. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's pretty tight because
doing your due diligence of your doomy, boomy, shooty duties and 40K goody blooty.
Booty gold.
Got it.
Yeah, bolt gun.
All right, continue.
Yeah, no, you got it straight. Yeah, it's gas. I mean,
it's gas.
It's
just all those words you said.
It's
gas.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's not that.
Yeah, I mean, is it like a cell shaded like 3D sort of vibe, or is it is it a Doom?
It has a very
2-bit sort of situation.
Bit situation. Like it looks pixely, but in a badass way.
Fire.
And has really
just
cool,
like really well done pixel art.
Yeah. And it's got like 24 levels, I think, like split into 3 chapters, and they've taken me anywhere from like 20 to 40 minutes each. So it's got a good beefy run to it. And I mean, you just have like a chainsaw and like about maybe 8 or 9 weapons that you pick up throughout and you keep, and then just a ton of different demon enemies and shit, like frog belchers and shit like that.
Frog belchers.
There's like
frogs that belch, or like
no,
frogs.
You're way off. They're more like toads.
No. Shut the fuck up. You're wrong. Hold on. Let me stop you right there. You're completely. I don't even know how you would reach that conclusion.
You're high. Get down off that.
What? Huh?
You're high. You're misunderstanding me. These frog belchers, they're not frogs. They don't belch. They're more like toads, and they do burp, and stuff comes out. It flies at you, like a sort of a green acid. And then there's small ones, and then there's rather large ones, and then I think there's a medium one too.
All right, so we've got multiple sizes. That's wild you say that, because I was watching the Frog and Toad cartoon last night.
That's a thing?
Yeah, it was, wow. Good God. Because the voice acting, they're all talking like they do in the books, where they're just like, I am missing a button. Oh no, this is horrible. And then the other one goes, I've got an idea. Let's go look for it. And it's just like,
is this on Adult Swim?
Bro, no.
No?
It was on fucking Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
My girlfriend, like Izzy, just put it on.
Is this like
just like, all right, it's
this is like an actual
vibing, and then
a children's show?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a fever dreamy sort of, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but frogs type.
No, it's just like Caillou level, just fucking
frog you.
Just like surface level animation, just like set piece, 2 moving characters.
Interesting.
It's just like, we just went on a walk today. That was so much. And then like Toad is like inappropriately low voice, like, thank you, Toad, for taking me out on a walk today.
That's so like, stereotypical to just assume the Toad would have a deeper voice.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I get it. He's a short and stocky, darker gentleman, but it's a bit rude.
Yeah, I've heard short, stocky, darker gentlemen with very high voices. So
yeah, so get it right. Get it right. That's all I'm saying. Just get it right.
It's interesting that maybe there's some crossover appeal there between that show and the 40K game, because there are, as we know, toads in both.
The crossover is absolutely fantastic.
That's kind of crucial in today's market, actually. Crossover appeal, multifaceted franchises.
You gotta diversify.
Your portfolio. As well
You've got to diversify
your franchises
by homogenizing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to have a homogenously diverse portfolio.
You can't diversify unless you homogenize first. Just like you can't dry off unless you get soaked first. It's like the same thing.
You got to pick one and then box hot about it. Like that's just that's the creative process.
The perp skirt from up north, yeah.
You gotta pick one and you gotta box hot.
Hawkspot.
But that's sick. Fucking I was playing what was it? Turtles, Mutants, Turtle Mutants, the Mutant Turtle game. You know those guys?
Man, we're really talking about green aquatic animals today. I'm kind of fucked with that.
There was they all have artist names. Like there's Da Vinci the turtle.
Da Vinci the turtle, and
there's
Picasso. Yeah.
Yeah, and Monet. Dude, those dudes are crazy.
And what's his name? And Banksy.
And Banksy, dude. Banksy, actually, you have to unlock Banksy. Master Banksy, you have to unlock him. Oh shit! Yeah, you gotta beat the game on extra cheesy before you unlock Master Banksy on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. On Teeny Mutant Ninja PP.
Is this like a Switch game? Or
it's like an arcade style fighter. It's like the classic TMNT game. Yeah, it's like a bit,
side scroll,
16-bit. Yeah, like Double Dragon kind of like brawler, like street brawler kind of game.
Retro games are where it's at right now.
What?
I said retro games are where it's at right now. There's like a revival.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's because you can make a good game with pixel art in a reasonable amount of time.
Right.
Like, that's kind of why, like, I don't know. I feel like there's this new wave, and it's not even like a new wave. I feel like you just see a lot more people, myself included, just kind of being like, dude, just give me like a worse looking game that just is awesome.
Right.
Like,
so there's not all this extra crap that you have to deal with.
Yeah. And it's just like, I feel like, I don't want to get too far up on my soapbox here, but I feel like that's been a big theme in a lot of media and like, I guess, creative output these days is like, everyone's trying to be like on the cutting edge of shit. And like, that idea of like timeless creation is just completely gone. You know, it's just like, not completely gone, but I feel like it's becoming a less and less. Like, it feels like a more and more niche thing, because it kind of is. Because it's just like, I don't know. I see that a lot with like movies that come out on like streaming services. Like I watched a few movies yesterday.
Tell me what each of them were.
I watched.
You finish your point first, though, if you need.
No, yeah, I mean, this all kind of ties in. They were like Apple TV original movies, right?
Oh, okay.
Like, the first one was with like Chris Evans and what's her name? Anna de Armas.
Red one or something?
It's called Ghosted.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a perfectly mid action movie. But like, you know, you look at the people in the background, like walking around and like the fashion sense around them. And it's like, it's not a stylized movie. It's just like people wearing like AirPod Maxes and like, you know, active wear, and like everyone's just kind of like, you know, very like clearly 2023 fashion. Like, you know, everyone's on their phones, like, you know, it's a very modern depiction kind of thing. And this isn't, you know, not the greatest example or whatever. And then we also watched The Greatest Beer Run Ever.
Okay,
which was that Zac Efron movie, where he like goes to Vietnam. He plays the dude who goes to Vietnam to deliver beer to the troops.
I think I have heard of that.
And they were both like pretty cool, but like at the end of the movie, at the end of both of them, just kind of like the first one wasn't as good. Like I think the Greatest Beer Run movie was like fun and like kind of cute, and then the first one was just like a mid-ass like spy movie. But like. My main thought watching them the whole time is just like, these were not movies made to be movies. And I'm just like, these were movies made to make money. And it's just like, and like made to like harness new technology in the sake of making something mid as fuck.
Right.
That's like very visually squeaky clean. Like, it's one of those things where it's like there's nothing groundbreaking about these movies, but the accessibility of making movies is what made them exist, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the same way in like music and video games now, where it's like the accessibility of like people who are quote unquote tastemakers has gotten so homogenized to where everyone's just like, how do we use the most revolutionary, most new thing? Like, how do we make everything modern, you know? Of just like, how do we make the best graphics? How do we make the best looking movie? Like, how do we harness all of the modern methods of creation to make something that's so just fine?
Right.
That's
the only notable thing about it.
Right. It's like we harnessed all of this new technology and all of these new resources, and we pumped out something so squeaky clean and like
aggressively
polished
made
on the surface. Yeah, exactly. Something that looks so nice and looks so presentable and is wrapped up in a neat little bow for your presentation. But everything underneath it is just nothing because we were so focused on what do we have, not what are we making.
And I think an easy example or like comparison where it might be even easier to see that is like a lot of modern metalcore, like a lot of the stuff you absolutely
100%.
hate, where it just sounds so like they're, you know, and they may be riffing and have insane talent and stuff, but like lyrically there's no depth, and like song structure wise it's just copy, you know, it's just straightforward pop song structure. There's no and it's all just combining sounds and like, you know, little guitar like riffs and noodles and tricks that have come from other songs and stuff, and it sounds like, okay, if this was the first thing of this sort of sound that had ever come out, sure, that would have been interesting maybe. But
exactly.
We're over a decade and a half into the sound.
Yeah. And then now you have people that are like in like these creative like positions, you know, who have not necessarily like sway or like power, but they have an audience. They have a product that they're selling. Like they have a band, they produce bands, they run studios, they do live sound. You know, people that are involved in music and whatnot will like, I don't know. They get so involved in the idea and the excitement of like new things, like embracing, like this is what it is. This is, you know, this, we've got to adapt, you know, we've got to grow. We've got to change our marketing. We've got to, you know, change the way we write, you know, the way we release. He's like, we got to adapt and grow and change. And it's just like, there's definitely a layer of that I agree to. Like you have to adopt strategies to market. If you want to be successful, if that's your goal, like to be successful, sell music and play the game, then yeah, play the game to its fullest extent. But there's a lot of people that like, I feel like lose like this small parts. Like if you look at creativity in music on a macro scale, like this little part right here is the authenticity. And then the rest of it is like this much. And then like you literally just forget about that authenticity, which is less about like creating something that you believe in. And because that's authentic in its own right. I'm not going to tell people that they're not creating something because that's what they feel like they should create. But I feel like a lot of people's motivations and influences, like you said, especially musically, and we don't even have to go down this rabbit hole. It's like the influence and that authenticity that they're deriving from is coming from a place of non-authenticity. Like they're inspired by inauthentic pieces of art. Like in my view, I'm not like I can't sit here and say that like, hey, this thing that you like, that's not real. Like I've gotten past that part. It's like telling people that pop stars aren't real people. That's fucking stupid. But like, metal and metalcore and shit, like Sleep Token. I swear to God, man, I'm so fucking sick of hearing about Sleep Token. I'm so fucking over it. You're the only other person that I know. Do you like Sleep Token?
No, that's hilarious. Because I just watched Fantano just rip them apart in his review. It was hilarious. Awesome. Yeah, it was and I
great. Saw so many people that know better, just like reposting that review and being like, man, this is why I can't stand, like, getting mad at him.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, dude,
he was so on point, though. He was so accurate.
Yeah, he's right. It's like, why are you booing him? He's right. It's just like,
no, the first time I heard that album, I instantly had that same, like, a very similar opinion that he had, but obviously I'm not as talented as him at verbalizing it, but it was just so on the nose, or on the head, hit the nail on the head. Yeah. Just crazy.
It's like, it's LinkedIn metal, which is like, dude, I'm not gonna sit here and say like you can't like it. Like, people can like what they like, but it's like, it's when people start acting like shit like that is like such a great thing for our society, because it's like, look, man, you can enjoy it. I'm not going to say that like you can't let this cultural moment happen. Like, you can let this obsession go over. You guys can enjoy this and have this new band, but like, it's really not that interesting. Like, it's like we've reached that point in music where all this crossover and genre mixing and all this shit, it's like, it's not, all of the successful versions are not the interesting kinds. Like, it's just like, you got it feels less of like they seamlessly mixed all these genres, and it's just like, no, dude, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like they're like, okay, what parts of all these genres sell the most? And let's put those together. Like, that's what I get from it. It's not even an accomplishment in my eyes. It's a commercial, and their verbiage, like the way they talk, it reminds me of Staghorn. Like, all of the tickets, all of the assets for the London Arena ritual have been vigorously depleted. We look forward to worshiping with you post haste. And it's just like, bro, get the hog out of your mouth and type a fucking press release.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that their lead singer like goes by the name Vessel, I was like, okay.
It's like, okay, so you are actually full of yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, when it, and again, like, Ghost, I fucking hate Ghost, but I'm not even going to shit on Ghost, because it's like, okay, it's a Satan. They're doing the Satan thing. They're doing the spooky fucking like organ metal. I don't give a shit. Like, it's not for me. I think it's fucking stupid. Whatever. People are having fun. But this shit, it's like, you don't even have the Sabbath angle to fall on. It's just like, bro, you're playing prog metal through a fucking computer. Like, you're playing computer metal and acting like you're Jesus. Like, it's not, there's no kitsch to that. It just feels like a fucking cult that's driven by like fake guitars.
You would say it is kitsch, right? Or am I it is kitsch. Like, it
is, but it's like, there's no like funness to it. It's like, it feels like, because it feels like the aesthetic just isn't there, because like the aesthetic is trying to be like this neo, what's the word I'm looking for? Like Egyptian, almost like this neo hieroglyphic kind of thing, where they're like doing the Japanese kanji, but like with, you know, like the art style and the direction and like the aesthetic is very like proto-cyber fucking hieroglyphic, whatever the fuck. Like, they're trying to do that.
Proto-cyber hieroglyphic. That's actually sounds cool, though.
It's probably cooler than what they would call it. Yeah. It's like, but it's just like, it's this, this overly homogenized, just fucking, let's throw a bunch of shit at a wall and then put a type of vocal that is uncommon. That like, that's what it really boils down to, is just like, here's some gent bullshit, and then a guy with kind of like an R&B sort of thing going on. Right. Like, not even really R&B, just like, he's just vibratoing a lot. Like, he's just like putting a lot of stank on notes that don't need it. Like, it's just like, like, bro, like, there's like, have you seen the image of him with like the fake blood where he's like, no. And then it says, oh my God, it's awesome. It's like a really dramatic picture of the Sleep Token guy, and it just says, bro, ain't no Sleep Token song where he needs to be doing all this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I have seen that.
It's just like, bro. Yeah, and then for anyone listening, if we've just been talking for like 10 minutes of something that you know nothing about, like,
Look up Sleep Token.
I don't know.
Listen to a song.
Maybe you'll love it. Yeah, like watch a music video, look up a live video. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing that you like. Maybe we've just been shitting on you for the past 15 minutes.
Well, that's the thing,
you're
is
that person,
I can
maybe reevaluate your taste. But that's all.
See like why people are into it, or like why it would appeal to some people. But yeah, it's just too processed and too fucking, like it sounds like a product, like a AI generated, like, okay, if we combine gent and proto neo hieroglyph cyber goo,
shit, no. Yeah, it's like it just feels like a marketing person's wet dream. Like that, I think that's ultimately my biggest problem with it. Is it's not that it exists, and it's not that they're doing what they're doing. It's the fandom behind it, as most things often are, where people are like, it's bringing metal to light, and it's like bringing all this attention to metal, and like, you don't have to like it, but it's bringing aware. And I'm like, no, it's like every time someone says some shit like that, it's like, no, like I would be more pro, like I would give Lorna Shore way more credit in that department than this, because it's like there's no singing in that. There's just an insane amount of double kick. Sure, there's the orchestra shit, like the orchestral shit, all that kind of stuff. But like, and it's more of a viral moment kind of band. But like,
at least they're not trying to be fucking edgy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's more metal about that than about Sleep Token. And because everyone that I think that is saying like Sleep Token is bringing metal to the forefront, that's all coming from people who want to make radio core, like they want to make radio metalcore. And I'm like, no, dude, you're just using it as the justification for you wanting to play a genre, because you say, look, they can make money doing it. So like, that's good. We should let them blow up so that we can make money doing what we're doing. So it's just like, that's the motivation I see. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't know.
They're sprinkling in these like modern metalcore gent elements into otherwise like excessively edgy pop music.
Right. It's like, it's pop music with down-tuned guitars. Like that's what it's turning into, which is fine. There's like baby metal, which isn't even really pop music. That's more metal than fucking Sleep Token, because like it's more erratic, at least at times. But like, and I don't know. I don't like to be a metal purist or whatever. It's what I grew up on. I've been on a huge slam kick recently. Like, I've just kind of accepted that heavy music is the shit that massages my brain, right? So it's like, that's just where I'm at. And like, I'm very jaded. Like, I'm not one of those people that like you should 100% take their word on for like their music, because their music taste, because my shit varies from day to day, from moment to moment, and just my mood. But like, I'm so sick of the fake guitar overproduced, like the direct input fucking like simulated guitar sound with fucking fake drums and like
for non-music people
vocals.
For non-music people, by direct input, are you saying that non-direct input, that's where you would like mic up a amplifier,
like versus an amp? Yeah,
versus like plugging it straight into a computer?
Exactly. Yeah. So like, like they have effects units that like are great, like Kemper, like there's Kempers, there's Axe effects, there's like rack units that you like plug your guitar into, and it has all the effects and like distortions, and like you can load profiles. Like there's a lot of good about this shit. 100%. Like it's a very convenient and very powerful tool. But like it's turned into, you go see a tour package of 4 fucking metalcore bands and you don't see a single goddamn guitar cabinet on stage. And it's just like everyone's just plugging straight into the PA. And it's like there's a convenience factor to that for sure, but it's like I'm going to show my old manness right now, but like I something in my heart hurts when I see that a band just isn't loading in cabs, especially when they're like a new band. And I'm just like, man, you guys, there's like something in the back of my head that activates like the bootstrap mentality of like, man, you guys are kind of getting off a little easy, huh? You guys are kind of built a little fruity, huh? You just what? You don't want to load in a bass cab for your heavy music? Oh, your heavy music. You can't load in the speaker cabinets to play your heavy angry guy music. You have to push in just a little whack of your computers for your heavy angry music. It's just
ideally, going into the future, the technology would progress so that you don't have to haul around so much giant heavy equipment, right? For show to show, making touring easier for everyone.
Yeah, but my counter to that is it's stupid. Like my counter to that is it looks dumb, and in small venues, I'm like just tired of it, man. Like the sound is boring, and like I don't know if it's like a band. Like I think Gideon is the one that comes to mind, where I'm just like, okay, they've been doing it for 15 fucking years. They can do whatever they want. Right. But like, a TikTok metalcore band that started 2 years ago that like just got on their first tour playing for like 1,000 cap rooms, and then they like don't bring cabs. And it's just like, it's really just a bitterness thing of like, man, you fucking dweebs. You fucking dweebs. Like 4-piece band, but there's, 2 guitar, like, you're missing a guitarist. One of your guitarists is on a laptop, because it's like, it's all the shit that comes with it, of just like,
right. It's a slope.
I don't know. I feel like those kinds of people also, I'm just spilling a lot of tea right now of just like people that like, they're bitter about having to be in a band. And I'm just like, it's like, bro, bring cabs. It's like, yeah, like being a musician's already hard enough. You got to sit in a van for all this time. You got to, buy merch. And then it's just like, you're listing things that every band has to do. And there are plenty of bands that bring way more amps than you would need to just for fun. And then do all of the other things you're saying that you supposedly have to do. So it's like, I don't know. Metalcore kids love bringing up basic tenets of touring as negatives. This
is a recurring thing you experience.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just always like the Twitter discourse of like, man, we are sitting in a van, we're loading in, we're doing sound check, when all this is done, I mean, we barely have a minute to ourselves. Maybe the green room's open. And I'm just like, yeah, you mean you're on tour?
Right.
I just job? Like, not like you're on tour. Cool. I do all of those things as well. And then I get paid less to play for less people and load more gear than you.
Well, you don't get it. You don't get it. What they want is to be a successful band without having to do any of that.
Got you. Okay. See, that's okay. Got it. Yeah. And that's my point, Tony, is it's just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old fashioned dickhead, but like it's that authenticity thing that I was talking about. Is just like, I feel like there's a large crossover of computer metal with entitlement. Because it's just like
deadly combo.
Yeah, it's a definite combo. And like I think a lot of it comes from a lot of those older bands, like you could say like Era, Gideon, other 2 or 3 of 4 bands that have been around since you and I were in high school. Like Moss to Flames, that's one of them. Like a band like in that caliber that's been doing it for 15 years damn near at this point. It's just like, you ask one of those bands and they can do whatever the fuck they want. I don't give a shit. They know the drill, and it's just like they've been doing it long enough where they've been at the same level where I, as an individual, I'm just kind of like, okay, if they don't have a green room, they don't have, X, Y, and Z. Like if someone didn't shop them waters or whatever, just basic shit where it's like, I would be annoyed too. Like it's one of those things where it's like, it's less about like, oh, you mean they don't have it? And it's more like, God damn it, I gotta fucking deal with it. I've been doing this for 10 fucking years, man. They can't just like have a case, like all we needed was a fucking case of water. Like we don't have a case of water, like that kind of shit I get. But it's like motherfuckers who have never been on tour that just roll up and they're just like, it's fucking hot in here. There's no loaders. Like, what? Like, this stage is so small. What the fuck? And it's just like, dude, I literally want to like cunt punch you and all your gear out on the curb. Because like, what the fuck's wrong with you, you ungrateful little shit? Like,
do you ever
kill yourself? If you can't deal with this, give up.
Are you ever sassy to their face? Like, I mean, you could try crying about it.
Oh, it happened to me the other day. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was,
what happened?
You know that band I'm going to name names. I don't give a shit because this dude's a tool. You know that band Trophy Eyes?
Yeah. I've heard of them.
Okay. So they came through my club the other day, and I'm gonna preface this with a little promoter talk. So the promoter has a habit. Promoter who booked Trophy Eyes has a habit of lying to agents about the size of our venue, right? It's a 1,000 cap venue, and he will tell agents that we scale down to 500, which is not really true, but he still does it. And agents who book this club at the 1,000 cap level, who know that that's kind of not the case, will still do it. So they will tell their band, hey, we're booking you at this club. It's 500 capacity, knowing full well that they've booked 1,000 capacity shows there, but they don't care because they get their 10% regardless. They don't give a shit. Agents, promoters, not all of them, but a lot of the ones that I see this shit happen with are fucking terrible at what they do. Particularly the promoter in St. Louis that ran the show. He sucks, and I hope he never works in this industry ever again. Anyway, the Trophy Eyes guys come in, and they're like, they look at the venue. It's obviously a big venue, and they're like, holy shit. And pre-sale's pretty low. Pre-sale's at like 80. So it's like kind of banking on being in a small club to not look ridiculous, but also in my head, I'm like, I've played big venues that are undersold plenty of times before. Just take the L. You know, you just take the L. It's just going to be a slightly awkward show. The vocalist of this fucking band was like having a high-speed ego come apart about this shit. Like, he was just like, only 80 sold? This is ridiculous. Like, we got to play on the floor or something. And like, I look at him and the tour manager, and it's like, no, you're not playing on the floor. And he was just like, well, why not? They're Australians. Like, well, why? And I'm like, because I said so. They're just like, well, why? I'm like, because I said so. I'm not putting my fucking gear on the floor, and we just don't do that. We're a 1,000 cap club. Like, we don't. You're not playing the floor in front of the PA with a bunch of randos. Like, it's just not. I'm the A1. No. And they just kind of look at me and like scoff a little bit and then walk away. And that whole day, the vocalist just like stayed in the green room, huffing and puffing with a stupid fucking throat tattoo. And then when he got on stage, like, at first I thought that I like was just cringing extremely hard because this is where I work. But like, I had my friends who were at the show come up to me and be like, what's his fucking deal? Like, does he want to be here? Because like throughout the whole show, the dude kept saying like, I know that there's like nobody here and it's kind of like a bummer or whatever. And, you know, but like, you know, we're going to try and have fun, all this kind of shit. Just like, it's not even like, hey man, like, let's all have fun. Like, we're going to, I know it's not as full as we want it to be, but like, let's fucking rage. It wasn't one of those. It was, man, I know there's no one here, but we'll try to have a good time. And, you know, like,
right, just pity
whatever.
partying.
It's like, maybe next time we come back, there'll be more people, or we'll be at a better venue and not at like a fucking 1,200 capacity place with nobody here. And like all this kind of shit. And I'm just like, do you want people to come back at all? Because like, you're making everyone that actually, everyone that paid $30 to be here feels like shit right now. So
nobody's here. So I guess they're all nobodies.
Yeah, exactly. It's like because at no point did he goes, thank you all for coming. Like, he didn't thank the people that were there for actually being there. He just like was making it a pity party the whole time. And then I kept telling the front of house guy to turn his shit down because he just kept mixing it way too loud because there's fucking no one there. And he was trying to make the loudest show I'd ever fucking heard in my life. I'm like, dude, not even Cannibal Corpse was this loud. And that was sold out.
Yeah, I bet.
It was just like, it was one of those things where it's like, also, you guys are a fucking laptop band. You want to play the floor? You literally only had, it was a 3-piece band. They had a drummer, a guitarist, and a vocalist. Second guitar and bass was on track. Yeah. And then there were another 10 channels of tracks on that.
Holy shit.
I'm airing the fuck out of this band right now, but This is where I'm at. The drummer and the guitarist, they were cool. They were nice. Vocalist thinks he's way punker than he actually is. And like, that's the shit that I'm sick of. It's like, if you guys want to be punk and you want to act punk and do all this shit, lug around some fucking amps. Okay. Book your own shows and stop being a sorry shit. Like, I don't know, man. I get it. You're from Australia. You guys are huge in Australia. Music got you across the fucking world, my G. That not good enough?
You're in America.
Yeah. And like, I think their new album's called like Suicide and Sunshine or some shit. And it's like, bro, you really sound like you just need to end it. Like, you really sound like you want to do that. And maybe it's not okay, that's maybe a little bit much, but nah.
And your music career
anyway,
is what you meant.
Anyway, I've been ranting for 20 minutes about nothing, so
what the heck?
Yeah, what's up? This is Welcome Boke.
Dude,
what's up?
So let me circle back to what I was saying about not bolt gun specifically, but it made me dive down that rabbit hole of boomer shooters, and there's like at least like a half dozen that I want to like check out now. They're all like $20 to $40 though, so I'm gonna wait for some sales. But let me find some of them. I put them on my wish list in Steam. Dusk looks insane. A Medieval, Proteus, Ultra Kill, and I think that's it. Yeah, those four. Have you played any of those?
No,
not or heard of any of them.
I can't say so.
A Medieval looks insane.
So these are all boomy shooties?
These are all boomy shooty duty cooties. And a Medieval looks insane. It's like a magic boomer shooter. So you're like casting spells and shit like that. And then Proteus just looks like an insane sci-fi, like a modern Doom. And then Ultra Kill is one where you heal yourself with the blood of your enemies. So you like kill them and they explode, and that gives you more health.
That's classic.
But it just looks insanely cracked. And then and there's a fucking gun where you flip a coin and then you shoot the coin, and that's what kills your enemies. So that looked kind of cool. And then what was Dusk? Oh yeah, Dusk is just like a horror one, but
nice.
Yeah,
I've got to finish RE4. So I started this. I think I sent it to you. I'm not sure. I got to open up Google Docs here. I started this Excel document or this Google sheet that's just kind of like my own personal like gaming log. To kind of like actually keep track of everything.
Oh yeah, you were saying you wish that there was like a letterbox for video games.
Yeah, so I just kind of made it for myself. Oh yeah, here we go. Video game log 2023. Oh, good God. So yeah, I want to get Dead Space Remake. I've got to finish Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. I've got to finish Luigi's Mansion 3, Tears of the Kingdom, which I want to talk about when Connor gets on here. I got to finish Neon White. I think you would fuck with Neon White. Resident Evil 4 remake and Battle for Bikini Bottom remake.
Damn.
So like, these are all games that I've started. So like I have them spread out between games that I finished, games that I want, and games that I'm in the middle of.
Okay. What's on your?
And then I just rate them.
You rate them.
Correct.
Okay. What those were on your list of ones you started?
Yes. So the ones I'm in the middle of are. Yeah, I listed all those.
Okay, and then what is on your want list?
On my want list, I've got Returnal, Jedi Survivor, and Dead Space remake. But I think, a lot of those I'm just gonna be on wait for sale kind of time.
Yeah, 100%. Now, dude, fucking goddamn BioShock and BioShock 2 are on sale for $3 and $5 on Steam.
Which ones?
1 and 2, and then 3. Infinite is $750. So
Halo
that's
Infinite
insane.
or BioShock Infinite?
BioShock Infinite.
Oh, okay.
So you can get 1, 2, and 3 for a combined $15.50.
No, that's not
on
bad.
Steam. Pretty good deal. I actually have a pretty extensive, not that extensive, but a wish list that I kind of went off on Steam when I was looking through other boomer shooters. But I just threw on every sort of game or franchise I thought maybe I would enjoy. So besides the BioShock, I got Half-Life, Portal 1 and 2, Quake, the OG Battlefront games, Republic Commandos.
Nice.
All the Warhammer Dawn of War games, GTA 5, the Batman games, those boomer shooters I mentioned.
So you've been big on PC?
Yeah, I mean, I was really, like, I had been just playing Call of Duty for the longest time, and then Halo here and there. But I played that Warhammer game, Bolt Gun, and I was like, you know what? I should start spending more time playing video games. So
I love having those moments, dude.
Yeah.
When you're just like having a good time and you're just like, man, I don't feel like a piece of human dog shit for enjoying a video game right now. I should do this more.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I should waste more time. That'd be sick.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just
I was going to say, I should constructively waste more time. That would be sick.
Right, exactly, yeah. And, it gives me more stuff to talk about with people and expands my sort of perception of a whole other creative industry that
and
has
quite frankly, it makes me more smarter.
Yeah, it's more smarter, more...
makes me more smarter.
Yeah, more intelligentsia, yeah.
Intelligentsia.
Callisto Protege? You play that?
No, I have not.
60 bones still.
Yeah, nah. I heard too many mixed things about that to pay full price. That's the thing with all these PS5 games that I want is like
full price.
They're kind of Nintendo'd. Yeah, they're kind of Nintendoing me right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey, these are actually the good games, so they're not gonna go on sale yet. It's like PS5s just hit actual shelves. Like they're not
right.
Like those games are not on sale yet, but PS4 games, those are basically a nickel if you look in the right spots. Because I think Connor is finally gonna hit Elden Ring or like Sekiro or something. Because he's been playing TOTK and I have too, but like I don't know, man, it's just not scratching the itch.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
First person I've heard not be totally blown away by it.
I mean, I'm blown away at like how well put together it is. Like it is a feat. That is like for sure.
And you're a feat guy.
Yeah, dude. I like some feats. No, but they went off on it. They just like, I don't know, man. It's one of those games where I have to be able to have 6 hours to play it. Otherwise, I'm just like not gonna really have fun with it. Like
can't hop on for a half-hour sesh.
Right. It's just not different enough from Breath of the Wild for me too. Like it's just it feels like the same game. In a lot of ways. In a lot of ways it's different, but in a lot of ways it feels like the same game. And I think I was talking to Connor about this. I'm just I'm getting a little tired of the over reliance on freedom in video games. You know what I'm saying?
Open world.
Like, yeah, like the open world idea, like everything that's revolutionary that's like reinvigorating the idea of an open world game is also paralyzing to me because I'm not a Minecraft kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't go into video games as if it were a photo editor. Like I'm not a builder. I'm not a Forge creator. I'm not a person who's just like, give me a sandbox and I'll entertain myself. It's like, no, man, give me like a good fucking game. Give me some challenges. Give me a linear group of challenges with a open-ended combat system. Like that's the kind of shit that I'm looking for. Not like, hey guys, here's just like a really abstract puzzle and just fucking figure it out. Just figure it out. Like, here's a wheel and 2 pieces of wood. You can figure it out. It's just like,
can I?
So here's a group of enemies that are way stronger than you, but we put around a bunch of silly things around them. So maybe you can find a way to take them out. It's just like, I don't want to play Metal Gear Solid. I don't want every game to be fucking tactical espionage action.
Right.
It's like, give me a fucking big sword and some fire spells and just make me kill some motherfuckers.
You know why I love bolt guns so much is because when you fly, like, you can lock on to a demon, right? You can use your chainsaw and it'll slow down time, and you can lock on to someone and like lunge towards them with it. And you just start tapping trigger, and it revs the chainsaw, and you can just absolutely blast the fool into a pool of blood. Yeah. And
that's good.
Yeah, like that is what I want to see in like Jedi Survivor, for example. When you slice up a stormtrooper with your lightsaber, I don't want it to bounce off the dude. I want it to slice him in half. Cauterize the wounds. It doesn't have to be bloody. The heat would cauterize the wounds instantly, but I just want to see more realistic violence.
Yeah, like that's the kind of shit that like I think is interesting to me, and that's the kind of shit. That's why I liked Dark Souls and Sekiro and shit so much, because it's just like, oh, cool. It doesn't take me. I don't have to swing my samurai sword at this guy 40 times for him to die. It's like, oh, I literally, if I hit you 3 or 4 times, I will stab you in the chest and you're dead. Like, it's just like one of those things where it's like, make the stakes match the medium of the violence.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
It's like, that alone is a great twist. Like Resident Evil or The Last of Us. It's like, you better not get shot in the fucking face.
Right.
Just don't do it. It's like, just don't, because that's a bullet in your face and you're a person. So maybe don't get shot.
It's like they increase the like the graphics quality and a lot of other things, but they don't match that with the increase in realism in terms of how you're interacting with your enemies and stuff. And so there's just like a disconnect for me, and I don't like it.
Yeah, like the idea of a video game that's like just fine is like a death sentence at this point, because it's like there's nothing seemingly worse than a game that's just fine. Like a bad game is almost better than a game that's just mid, because it's like because like the idea of a mid game now is it's not even just like a bad looking game that like plays okay. It's like a good looking game that plays bad. Like that's what a mid game is. And it's just like whatever happened to it, like, the mid game is the game that like doesn't look great, but is like there's a fun game there. It's just like, and I'm not saying that that's like every mid game before a certain year or whatever, but like I would much rather that be the trade-off. It's like, give me a fun game that looks kind of shitty than a really good looking game that's like kind of mid, because I feel like there's like this severe amount of overcorrection now to where either people sacrifice the graphics, like they take like Tears of the Kingdom is a perfect example. Like it is a tasteful example of like how high graphic fidelity needs to be, but like it runs into a lot of stuttering and shit too, because there's so much going on. Like frame drops are pretty constant because it's just the system can't handle it. But they made an insane game underneath it. So like an insane game in that it's so open-ended and so sandboxy, like there's so much you can do in that game, to where it's just like, okay, well that's the graphical line, but also like you don't need to go that hard, like making an open-ended game that also just feels incomplete, because the format of Breath of the Wild to me doesn't work for Zelda in the way that I want it to. I want linearity and like I want an adventure that is spelled out for me because that's what I love about Zelda games. But then they were just like, they turned it into a choose your own adventure game, and it just doesn't work for me. And that's a me problem. But like, I don't know. They like followed all the principles that I wanted them to until it came down to the core idea of the game.
Right. How you go about
it was just
going through the game.
Yeah. Because like the physics, and I understand that it all ties into one cohesive experience, but like the physics engine and the flying and all of the new elements of the game, I'm just kind of like, I would love all of this, but like with less emphasis on like micro challenges like the shrines and shit, and give me more like dungeon experiences, you know? Because Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, at the end of the day, they both just have 4 core like dungeons. And it's like, I would much rather there be like 16 of those and like no shrines.
How many shrines are there?
There's like 80.
Oh, okay. Huh.
And like the shrines are fine. They're just like micro challenges that like border on annoying.
Okay.
Where it's like some of them just become tedious because then some of them are just like the same puzzle but longer. Some of them are just like, you know, it's like a side quest sort of thing where it's just like it's filler, but it's a little unique enough to not be filler. You know, it's kind of like Elden Ring in their dungeons. It's the same thing. It's just like it's like the first 30 or 40 of them. You're like, okay, sick, and then once you get past that first buffer, you start to see the same enemies over and over again. You start to see the same challenges over and over again, just with different coats of paint on them. And it's just like, oh, okay, guys, this is the same thing. It's like, you had a little more creativity with it. It's like, it's too ambitious of a format to be appealing to everybody. I think that's my main point. Is it's just like the idea of an open world game just needs a break.
Right.
Like we just need to give it a fucking second. You know, just give it a minute. Let them cook something up. Just fucking give it a rest.
That's what I love about Bolt Gun. It could not be more linear.
Yeah.
It's as linear as you can possibly get.
I fuck with the indie games. Like Neon White is great. Just levels.
Right. Start, finish.
Turtles was great. Dude, I fucking played Paper Mario N64. I just beat that the other day. Great game. It's like, it's linear, but like you also have to pay attention to what people are saying to know where to go. Like it doesn't give you objectives, you know? But like you do have to you have to read the cutscenes as they happen. Otherwise, you don't know what the fuck you got to do. And it's just like, you know, I miss that kind of shit where it's just like, if you don't pay attention, you're going to have to look this up. And if you look this up, you're going to feel stupid because this is a kid's game.
There's some of that in Bolt Gun too. Like you have to find keys to doors and stuff. And your little skull guy that floats around with you, not Spider-Man skull guy. It's a different skull guy. He gives you like hints about like where you're like, oh, search for the rooftops. And I'm like, at the rooftops? How the fuck do I even get there? But like, there's some challenges to it, but it's never anything annoying or anything like that.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I think that's my point. Is just like when you play old games, you realize how much context clues and actual attention, like how much that affects your experience playing a video game. And like how it affects like your mindset towards that game. And that's why I think I loved Elden Ring so much, is because it gave you like a general sense of direction, but it didn't tell you where to go or what to do first or like how to do all this. Whereas like Paper Mario tells you explicitly what to do, but it doesn't give you a map. You know, Elden Ring doesn't tell you what to do, but it gives you a map with like an arrow that points in the general direction for story progression kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of inverted that idea. Whereas Tears of the Kingdom doesn't really commit to either. It's just like, it falls into the same tropes as other open world games of like, here's your map, here's your beacons, here's your mission objectives, like, and for a game that's like so hell bent on freedom and shit, it just like there's no other way to remedy that because otherwise it's too overwhelming. And whereas Elden Ring has a very open-ended like progression system, like you can, souls are your only currency needed to level up.
Yeah.
Whereas you have to do the shrines in Zelda to increase your health, increase your stamina. So it's just like, even if you miss a few like dungeon areas in Elden Ring, it's not like you're going to miss out on insane progression. You might miss insane loot, but like you're not going to miss like insane amounts of experience. Whereas Zelda, the loot in these fucking shrines is like pitiful, but like you get the experience points. So it's like it just I think my brain is just kind of warped into a situation of just like the reward systems of this game do not match up with how I experience
what they should be worth
that in video games. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's just like it doesn't line up with how I appreciate the setting of a video game, I guess, or however that is. But anyway, I could say the same thing 40 different ways. Some more if you'd like.
Continue. No, I'm just kidding. We are at over an hour, so I'm,
Yeah, so damn. All right, we're done.
You got a whole day ahead of you, so.
But anyways, guys, this is Woken Boke. Connor's not here, obviously.
Oh, shit. I just fucking realized.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was a little quieter. I thought I was talking a little more than usual.
I thought he was right. Oh no, that's just a black bar beneath our video.
Oh yeah, dude, it's just a black space on the screen. That's not Connor.
What the fuck?
It's just empty space.
I thought that shit was him, man. Huh, whatever.
Damn, rip. All right, well, I'm back, guys. Hi. And then Connor's gone. So, but Tony's here. Say hi, Tony.
Hey, and we have emails too. Thanks for writing in. We'll get to those next week. I think we have 3, actually.
Yeah, guys, no emails today. I decided to rant about bands that no one really cares about instead. So,
yeah. How about we have at least one metal fan in the audience?
At least
maybe
one,
not.
maybe a half. I don't know. Who knows? But anyways, this is Woken Boke. Boom. See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.